Hey everyone, Clueless Dad here. I finally had a chance to put together all the video clips I took on the day that my son was born. It's actually been exactly a month since people are actually watching this channel now. I thought I might as well put this video together so you guys see how I became the Clueless Dad from the Clueless Dad-to-be. So this video is actually a bunch of clips stuck together that I filmed throughout the day. Somewhere I'm actually narrating and somewhere I'm actually filming what's going on. So hopefully it makes sense. Just check it out and enjoy. Because I was filming in the clinic and didn't tell anyone I was going to stick it on YouTube, for the sake of everyone's privacy, I've blurred out a bunch of stuff, but hopefully you can still figure out what's going on. Anyway, enjoy. Hey everyone, I'm actually outside the clinic, maternity clinic in Japan, taking a little bit of a break. We've been here all morning. This morning when we came in for our exam, my wife's water broke, and so it was actually convenient. They just checked us in right upstairs, and it's now 3 p.m. so it's been about 4.5 hours since no 5.5 hours since that happened. So and there's been contractions since about 11 something, so it's gonna be a long day. They're still about 5 minutes apart, 5 to 7 minutes apart, sometimes faster, sometimes slower. Seems to be getting more strong, but then she's getting used to it too. So interesting, learning a lot. Have a lot of time to read up on labor contractions while I'm here. Anyway, so that's my experience. Let's see how it goes. One more bit of explanation here. This is a fetal monitoring machine, and most of the day, especially as the contractions got stronger and longer, they had my wife hooked up to it. It measures the fetal heart rate and also contractions. So it's pretty cool. I'll try to do a separate video about it later. Coming up on hour 12, it's about 10 p.m. now. Looks like the kid's going to be born tomorrow at this rate. My arms are really tired. I didn't realize that not having a baby could be so tired. I've been pushing a tennis ball into my wife's lower back for the last 2 hours or so. Every time there's a contraction. Anyway, I'll do a whole video about the tennis ball, I guess. But in the meanwhile, I gotta get back upstairs. Hey everyone, it's about 2:20 a.m. The baby came out around 12 midnight, slightly after midnight, so technically he was born on Tuesday the 20th of December. So all in all, let me see, where did I leave off? So the water broke around 10 or 10:30 this morning while we were having our checkup, and then they sent us straight upstairs and into one of the labor rooms, and there we stayed from I guess 11 until 11 a.m. until 11 p.m. so it was pretty much 12 hours, and then around 11 they decided the contractions were close enough and strong enough and long enough to keep going straight into the delivery room. And that took about an hour. By the time everything got set up, I had to gown up and everything. And pretty much I was the designated water bottle fetcher and sweat wiper off the brow guy, and once in a while holding a leg open. But it was interesting. I tried not to look at the business end too much because people tell me it's pretty creepy. But basically it was 2 nurse or midwives most of the time, and then the doctor of course shows up the last 30 seconds and gets all the glory. So he ended up doing, and I guess this is somewhat common, he did a local shot of anesthesia because the baby's head wasn't coming out, and then a couple snips here and there to sort of open things up, and then afterwards he spent, actually the real work he did was the stitches to close all that up. So, yeah, the baby seems to be pretty healthy, 3,650 grams, which is within, I think, 7 grams of what the ultrasound said, which is pretty cool. So that's about 8 pounds on the dot, actually. So anyway, it wasn't too bloody, I guess. I tried not to look, as I said. There was a lot of sweat, a lot of shouting. My wife is a real trooper. It was a little bit hard to follow everything because everyone was speaking Japanese, and the real hard part was when they were giving me instructions, and I had to figure out what exactly it meant and not screw anything up. And of course, my wife was in no mood to be translating very much. So that was pretty cool. And then once the baby was out, they put it in the warmer, wrapped up in a blanket, all that. Lots of goo on it, on him, and some of which they wiped off, and not all of which. I don't know. Maybe they give him a rinse later, but not right away. He was actually pretty well behaved. The only time he really cried was when he's getting his rectal thermometer, checking his temperature. But a pretty healthy boy. One of the funny things is, in this case, with a mixed heritage, mixed race kid, I sent pictures to my Asian friends and my white relatives, and the white people say he looks really Asian, and the Asian people say he looks like me. So it's one of those things, people notice the difference more than they notice the similarity. So apparently his big nose is what makes him look like his father more than his mother, although it's not that big, not this big. And his the fact that he has black hair instead of, I guess I had apparently like very light brown blondish hair when I was born way back. So the first thing my mother said is he looks like my wife, because his hair is pretty black. One of the things that you don't get prepared for is the fact that it's your own kid, and now this bulge in your wife's stomach suddenly becomes a real thing. No matter what you prepare for, you're never really prepared. So I guess I got kind of, as much as people say you're going to freak out, you're going to cry, you're going to whatever, I think even the most cynical person will still be pretty impressed. That said, the whole birth thing was actually pretty cool. I was actually wearing a mask because I'm a little bit sick today, but I was pretty much smiling underneath because I thought it was actually pretty cool watching what's happening. So I don't think I'm going to switch my career into nursing, but it's cool to get to visit and to check it out. But anyway, so that's the end of a very long day. Still waiting for my wife to come back. I think she's feeding right now. She's trying to feed the baby for the first time. And let me know what you guys think. If this was interesting, please leave a comment. If you have any advice for still a pretty clueless dad, please let me know. Bye. Okay, so that's the Takara Tomy one-way baby monitor with night lamp and with this cool visual volume sensor.